Hey everybody, this is Ask Joshy. Welcome back to this series between StarCraft and IM.LosirA. This is Game 3 in a best of 3 in the semifinals of the IPL4 online qualifier number 2. Whoever wins this game will be invited and flown out and paid for and everything to go to IPL4 live event in Las Vegas. They'll get a free flight, free hotel, and basically guaranteed prize money as they're inserted into group play for that live event. So StarCraft, IM.LosirA, which one of these guys will win the game and head out to IPL4 in Las Vegas? We're going to find out right now. StarCraft is the red Terran up here in the top right corner of Calm Before the Storm. His opponent for the third game in a row, it's IM.LosirA. He's the blue Zerg over here in the top left. So what is LosirA going to do? Last game, he raced his tech very quickly up to Tier 3, got that Greater Spire, got that Ultralisk Cavern, actually ended up losing both of them and having to rebuild, but that's okay. Bomber basically stuck with Marine Marauder Viking. Didn't actually do too much with the tanks this time around. Shattered Temple, we saw a lot more tanks out of him. Kind of surprising since tanks did so well in that first game, and they were doing fairly well in the second game. I guess they're not as effective against that Ling Infestor Ultra combo in small numbers, so he kind of had to invest in Vikings a lot more in the second game. Bomber, not sure what he's going to be doing this time around. Still haven't seen any Blue Flame Hellions out of him. Still haven't seen any Banshees out of him. LosirA has kind of just been trying to adapt to whatever Bomber's been throwing at him. He's done very well with his scouting, actually. In the last game, he created that sort of funnel for the reactored Hellions that he scouted, so you know, he was prepared, and Bomber knew that he was prepared, so he switched out of it and tried to build some tanks, and then decided he didn't like tanks, so he went bio. And LosirA just had a good combination of splash damage and Broodlords, and was able to finally take over, but Bomber did not quite expand enough to keep up with LosirA in that second game. Let's see if he's going to try to do it this time. Still no command center being built for him. He has gone for very quick command centers in the first two games, so a little surprised, not too surprised, but of course a wall off at the top of your ramp is always a great thing to have, unless you're going to go command center super duper ultra fast. Calm Before the Storm does have two attack paths as well. One leads down this ramp around this sort of land bridge over here, up this ramp, and sort of right into your enemy's natural, or you can go down this way where this Marine just killed a scouting drone from LosirA. Good pickup there by Bomber. He knew he was going to come from that angle just because of the way the map is laid out. You can see actually the scouting patterns here, but the middle of the map is shaped sort of like a ninja star, like a shuriken, and it also ends up leading into your enemy's natural. So this does have rotational symmetry, but it's very sort of minimal rotational symmetry. And I think these positions for these players will be okay. LosirA's expansion is not between the two players. Sometimes that can be a concern when you've got a Terran opponent close to your natural, but in this case, LosirA's natural is a little farther away from his Terran opponent, so that's all right. We do have a starport building extremely quickly here. 1-1-1. No units built aside from that first Marine at all. No, just one Marine. Still building SCVs, now building a second Marine, and a command center here down at the sort of back door area. I'm not going to call this natural, I'll call this the safe expansion area, I guess, or the back expansion. LosirA actually went for the natural first. He can get that creep spreading already and head toward his opponent that way, and it's just kind of easier to defend anyway, so LosirA wants to have this front guarded so that the main isn't just totally exposed. Here we go, a little bit of a switcheroo. We've got the starport landing on a tech lab. Is Bomber going to be building any add-on onto the factory? Not just yet. Oh, check that out. Cloaking field. I had to interrupt myself. That's how crazy this is. I just mentioned we hadn't seen any Blue Flame Hellions, hadn't seen any Cloaked Banshees or anything like that, and here we go. LosirA, hope he's prepared for this, because Bomber hasn't even shown a hint of this in the first two games, and now he's going basically all in with it. I don't want to say all in, but that's kind of what he's doing. Like, he's going, you know, pedal to the metal, let's go all the way through into super fast Cloaked Banshees. And of course, this Zergling can't scout anything because there's a full wall off and a Marine blocking the way. He can't see this expansion in the back because his Overlords are too slow to ever reach that area. And he's kind of not scouting that way anyway. He's going a long way around with this Overlord. So the Ling is basically blind for all intents and purposes. I don't know if he saw that Banshee just now. Did that Ling see that Banshee? Oh my goodness, I have no idea. He's building 6 drones at a time though, and Evo Chamber is going up. Oh my gosh. So looks like the Banshee was spotted, and if it wasn't, then it certainly was right there. So Bomber knows he has a very narrow window of time before detection comes up. He's actually building a second Banshee and Infernal Pre-Igniter here for his Hellions, building one Hellion at a time out of that Tech Lab factory. Queens are in position, ready to take on this Banshee, but Cloak finishes just in the nick of time for Bomber to try and do some damage. The Evolution Chamber has finished, but a Spore Crawler is just now building in the main mineral line. This Banshee's going to get some sweet, sweet damage in. He's already killed 5 drones. No, not 5 drones. He did kill a Ling earlier. Now he's killed 5 drones, and now he's got more than 5 drones. So LosirA just in such a scary position here. He has no idea how much energy this Banshee has. He's running away from his Spore Crawler about to finish. That's kind of interesting. Not sure why he did that. I don't think the Banshee was going to be able to kill the Spore Crawler in time. There's one already finished here, so at least he has detection. Keep in mind the detection range for a Spore Crawler is slightly longer than the actual shooting range of the Spore Crawler, so these Queens, if they're in a good enough position, they will be able to prevent this Banshee from doing too much damage at the natural. But the Banshee scored 14 kills total already, and now look, it's already time. Oh my gosh, after building just 2 Banshees, Bomber has switched into medevac production, so he's going to be able to lift these Blue Flame Hellions up. He can go right into the main if he wants to, or he can drop at this natural that's just now starting. Let's see what he actually chooses to do. He doesn't know that the natural is being, or this back expansion is being built, so he's going to drop the Blue Flame Hellions right into the main. There's so many drones here. I don't know if LosirA was expecting Marines to come out of that medevac, but Blue Flame Hellions definitely was a bit of a shock to him. He lost some drones very quickly. More drones going down now. If we just look at workers lost 19-1 already, not even 10 minutes in this game. And the Hellions are going to get surrounded and picked off, but man, that's some brutal damage already. A Viking coming in now, so Bomber is going full-on harassment suite with Cloaked Banshees, Blue Flame Hellion drops, and to finish off, Vikings killing off Overlords. And now we have no anti-air close enough to this Banshee. Banshee picks up 2 more kills. Viking picking up some Overlord kills. That's going to drop LosirA into the red, 61/60. Just barely into the red, but into the red nonetheless. Viking could start hunting for some more Overlords. It looks like he's busy doing some other stuff, though. Siege Tech has started. Siege Tanks have started to be produced now out of 2 separate factories. The Starport's quiet for the time being, but more Blue Flame Hellions are being loaded up in this medevac. Banshee's still just hanging out between bases here with 16 kills. Vikings still in no man's land, not killing anything, not really doing much. Hatchery is finished now for LosirA, so he could start to populate that. We see 9 drones in production, so he's got 45 drones, 49 drones now, despite losing 21 already in this game. It looks like a medevac is coming back now with some more Blue Flame action. The Viking's going to team up with it just in case anything surprising comes out, or in case he happens to find an Overlord nearby or an Overseer, I don't know. But Viking's always handy to have against the Zerg opponent early on. 3 Blue Flame Hellions getting dropped on the low ground. Queen will be able to spot that. 1 drone does go down. And of course, Bomber can just load up and drop onto the high ground again. 3 Hellions, lots of Lings, lots of tasty Lings. They're probably not going to be able to pick off these 3 Hellions. No, Blue Flame is just a little bit too much damage. More Lings getting killed now. He's going to ignore the last 2 and go for that sweet line of drones. It looks like 4 just went down in 1 blast. Drones are burning on every angle of Bomber's main right now. Sorry, LosirA's main. 30 workers killed so far, 45 units killed total for Bomber. That is just a drastic, drastic difference. This Banshee's still hanging out, waiting for his chance to return to battle, and Bomber just controlling this game so well. I'm surprised he hasn't killed some more Overlords. He's got a Marine hanging out, just watching, just in case an Overlord tries to sneak into his main. I like that positioning. Oh my god, he's actually got Thors coming out of 2 different factories now. That armory went up during all that ruckus with the Blue Flame Hellions. And now a bunch of Lings actually run past the Blue Flame Hellions, but where are they going to go? The natural is all sieged up now. There's a Thor here. 1 Ling gets splattered right away. Where did those Hellions go? They're loaded up in a medevac again. Oh, the Banshee has moved back into play. He's picking up drone kills once again. There's still no anti-air here. Mutalisks are starting to be built, but drones just falling left and right. 21 kills to this Commander Banshee right now. That's just crazy. Vikings still looking for Overlord targets, and the medevac going the long way around with these Hellions. I'm curious if he's going to go Banshee attack, Hellion attack, and Thor attack here soon. But poor LosirA really can't get anything going. He's built a Baneling Nest, getting centrifugal hooks now, +1/+1 upgrades on the way. A 3rd Evolution Chamber coming up now to maybe get ranged attacks going as well. 3 Evolution Chambers. bit early for that. We'll see what he ends up doing with that. 8 creep tumors, 9, 10 creep tumors. Wow, he's just spreading creep like a fiend, trying to get all the way over to Bomber's base. But here we go. Blue Flame Hellions dropping in a very vulnerable point. They're out of range of the Spine Crawlers. Oh, just barely in range of the Spine Crawlers, excuse me. But if they keep their back to the cliff edge, they can actually pick off some of these Zerglings. Oh, so many Zerglings getting killed there, and more drones falling to the wayside. Look at all those drone charred corpses there. Let's look at workers lost again. 48 workers lost for LosirA. Did the Banshee come back into play? Nope, still just 21 kills on that, but that is just crazy. Bomber's been uninterrupted this whole time, and LosirA's lost 48 workers and 75 units total, and there are freaking Thors on the field on the other side of the map. 1-0 upgrades already for the Siege Tanks, Hellions, and Thors, while LosirA getting a macro hatch up now. He has been mining off of this base for a little bit now. His income trying to keep up there. He's actually even on gas, getting close on minerals. Still up by 14 harvesters despite losing nearly 50 in this game already. But man, this tech is actually looking, this mech tech is looking very scary from Bomber after that repeated harassment from Blue Flame Hellions and Banshees all game long. Sensor tower in a good position here, going to be able to find Overlords in stray positions. Vikings can go pick them off. You can see the creep tumors. Actually, I don't know. Can you see, do creep tumors show up? Yes, they do, actually, before they get cloaked. Interesting. So you can see the creep tumors, alright. And does, of course, see this little outlier Zergling, so he's going to kill him, no problem. And move out with his 1-1 mech army. Look at this, no bio at all in this mixture, just Blue Flame Hellions, splash damage from the Siege Tanks. They do have Siege Tech already, and all these Thors just going to be able to tank so much damage from Lings and Banelings. Mutalisks are starting to pop out now, but of course Thors still do splash damage against air, so he's going to have to be careful with those Mutalisks. Scans go down and creep tumors are dying by the dozen. Look at all these creep tumors just getting destroyed, and so many Thors. How many Thors does he have? He's got 6 Thors here with 2-1 upgrades now. He's going to have to be extremely careful with his Banelings, Mutalisks, and Zerglings. He's getting some more upgrades rolling now, +1 melee, +2 armor, 9 Banelings on the way. Man, this is just such a tough spot for LosirA. 48 workers killed, 85 units killed total. I wonder if that includes creep tumors. I'm pretty sure it does not include creep tumors. Haha. I had to pull it up just to verify, but Spinecrawler taking some damage now. Tanks are sieged up. We've got lots and lots of Mutalisks on the map. I wonder if LosirA is going to try the base trade. Mutalisks are not the best to be base trading against this huge amount of splash damage. Oh, Banelings all finishing. They're going to roll in and try to kill the Hellions. How many will they get? The front line does go down, but they get baited into the siege tank fire, and now the Mutalisks are forced to respond. These Thors are actually spaced out like giant fat turrets, and oh, the Mutalisks are clumping actually quite heavily, so they're going to take a lot of splash damage. Hellions still baiting in lots of Banelings and Speedlings there. They're finally going to get thinned out, so now it's just Thors and siege tanks, handful of Blue Flame Hellions. Mutalisks still trying to pick off reinforcements. LosirA is being very active with this. I like that. He's going to pick up 2 tank kills and a Thor kill, it looks like, with his Mutalisks, but his natural is about to go down. All he has here is Banelings to try and pick off a ton of tanks and Thors still. Bomber's still ahead in supply. Zerg never wants to be behind in supply against a mech Terran. Oh my goodness, and it's still just changing drastically. Now the siege tanks are in range of the Baneling nest. The Thors are moving forward to try and do some damage, tank some damage from these Banelings, and the Banelings just really don't kill much of anything. 1 Thor goes down, another Thor goes down over here to the Mutalisks, but they're getting thinned out pretty rapidly as well from these well-placed Thors. And look at that, 2 more Thors on the way. LosirA, not sure what you can do in this position. 3 more Thors in production, 4 more Blue Flame Hellions in production, 2 more factories getting built now, drones being pulled off the line to try and surround these Thors, and the Hellions are just going to come in and sweep up all that light armor unit action there, and all these Overlords taking damage from the Thors. Thors really can just move forward at this point. Blue Flame Hellions in the front, sweeping out any Lings and drones that happen to attack. 18 Banelings morphing right now for LosirA. I'm really not sure what he plans to get done there, and you can see the mini-map, just big red squares moving across constantly. That's all these Thors getting churned out of the mass factories that we got going on. Siege tanks are in range of the Baneling eggs, the Baneling cocoons. As they run down the ramp, they actually skip the Hellions and go straight for the Thors, and this just looks drastically bad now. 160 supply against 77. Bomber just taking his sweet time, taking these slow Thors across the map. Lings coming down now, but even the Thors are fast enough to pick them off. There's still 1 siege tank. No siege tanks remaining, but GG from LosirA. StarTale.Bomber is going to qualify. This was the semifinal for the IPL4 online qualifier number 2. The winner of the series gets into IPL4 group stages. He's going to play against the winner of the other semifinal for seeding. But that was just an incredible series played by Bomber and by LosirA. That second game was some really, really awesome stuff as well, but Bomber pulls out the win in Game 3, takes the series 2-1, and is headed to IPL4.